What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back. My name is Mahealani, also known as Divinely Her, and here on my channel we speak about anything from curls to consciousness. My main goal is to connect, so if you can vibe with that, then we're cool. Today, you guys, we're going to be speaking on something very controversial. We're going to be speaking about relationship structures and polyamory, and I know this is a very deep topic, a very touchy topic, so I just want to first say that, you know, I'm not trying to convince anybody in this video to do anything, live out any type of lifestyle or anything. I'm simply sharing my perspective and my insight, and that's it, really. You know, I'm definitely open to build on this topic too. If anybody else has any information or any type of perspective that they would like to share with me, you can comment below or just simply hit me up, however you can do that. And then also, I want to say that this video and this topic is going to require an open mind and an open heart to truly understand. And if you're not able to open your mind to new ways of thinking that aren't as conventional or as traditional, then this video is probably not for you. And then lastly, I want to say that everything is definitely circumstantial. So any type of examples I might give in this, or even definitions I might give in this, nowhere near covers all that exists within the world. You know, I'm just gonna be speaking as general as I can. So yeah, you guys, let's just get into it. It's a lot, so hope you guys ready. Okay, you guys, so let's just get into it. I did my best to keep this video organized, okay, because it's just so much to touch on. I just tried to simplify it and keep it as simple as possible and easy to follow. So the way that I went about doing that is, first, I'm just going to go ahead and speak on facts. I have some terms here that we've probably all heard or heard some of, and so I'm just going to give the definitions of those so we're just all on the same page as far as like what these terms actually mean, not just like perspectives that we have based upon whatever. Okay, and then secondly, I'm gonna go ahead and touch on common misconceptions. So like anything that you might instantly think when you hear the word polygamist or polygamy or polyandrous or whatever. I'm gonna touch on certain things that people might think, you know, and just give my perspective on it. And then third, I'm gonna talk about why do people get into relationships, period, whether it be monogamous, polygamous, polyandrous, whatever. What is the purpose of even partnering up with beings in this reality? You know what I'm saying? What is the point of it all? Because I feel like that determines why you get into what kind of relationship you get into. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to touch on that some more then. But also in that section, that's when I'm going to get more personal with you guys and let you guys know why I identify with this lifestyle, why I feel like this is something that is beneficial and healthy for me. You know, so we're just going to, yeah, so that's basically it. 3 sections, or it could kind of 4. Okay, so that's basically it, you guys. So let's get into these facts. All right, you guys, so I'm going to start off by just defining some terms. Let's just get going. So polyamory. Polyamory is the philosophy or state of being in love or romantically involved with more than one person at the same time. It's really general if you think about it. Like, polygamy. Polygamy is the practice or custom of having more than one wife or husband at the same time. So polygamy is just one person with multiple wives or one person with multiple husbands, either or. Polyandry is when a man has more than one wife, and polyandry is when a woman has more than one husband. An open relationship is when a couple that are committed to each other are also able to have side relationships outside of their primary relationship. And I have to say this one because people often relate this to polyamory, but swingers. But what swinging is 2 couples that decide to sexually swap. So the difference with swinging is that it's a sexually based title. You know what I'm saying? It's strictly on sex, strictly about sex. and all of these terms fall into a category that psychologists call ethical or consensual non-monogamy. Okay, so now I'm gonna go right into common misconceptions, and these are things that people might think or just, yeah, have some type of ideas about polygamy or just any type of dynamic that isn't monogamy. Okay, so the first common misconception that I want to address is that polyamory is a sex-based title, or that the definition or the identification has anything to do with sex, because it doesn't. Of course, sex is going to come up at some point in relationships, but the purpose in being polyamorous is not intended for sex or to justify your recklessness. Okay, so most people, and I can only speak for myself, but I feel like the beings who identify themselves with polyamory for the pure reasons will resonate with this as well. We're polyamorous because we actually seek compatibility. We actually seek fulfillment through relationship, and not the pressures of obligations and expectations because of whatever society says has to be. You know what I'm saying? This is with anything in this fucking reality. It's like we're given a way that it has to be, and our minds are shaped that way, and we can't think outside of that. And honestly, if you think about how individual each person is, then you have to know that the way that people love and the dynamic of people's relationships are going to be individual as well. It makes no sense to think that there's one right relationship dynamic for everybody. You guys, like, we're in 2020. We know that nobody's the same. We know that there's like no right way. I don't understand why we're still trying to pressure people to feel like this is the way that shit has to be. Like everything is right. That's my philosophy. Everything is right. What you feel is best for you in your spirit and in your soul and in your heart and in your purest intention, do that. Do that, because nobody can tell you what your spirit's purpose is, and your spirit's guiding you. So yeah, that was a rant, but ultimately it's way deeper than sex. Okay, another common misconception. I just wanted to address the conscious community. Well, I know a lot of us came across our first example of consensual non-monogamy through the conscious community. I just want to say that the conscious community did not dig up polygamy out the fucking tombs of Egypt and bring it to today, okay? You guys, I read you a list of definitions. This is already existing. There are people practicing this today. It's already happening. So instead of trying to justify your reasons for doing things based upon what your ancestors did, which we can't do, because honestly, you guys, our ancestors did many different things. We have infinite ancestors. So you got to know that there's things that our ancestors did that we wouldn't resonate with today in today's time. So we can't always use, oh, our ancestors did it as justification. Because at some time, our ancestors could have motherfucking been doing human sacrifice. You gonna do that shit? No, I don't think so. So, you know, just like, stop trying to justify it using that, and actually think about why you feel like this is a beneficial lifestyle for you. You don't have to come up with a reason other than what's true, you know? But as we know, a lot of men in the conscious community were using polygamy to justify their sexual desires and to live out their fucking fantasies. And so with that, we experienced a lot of different women who just kind of got a bad idea, or just were basically traumatized from their experiencing of trying to be open to a polygamous situation with a man who didn't know what the hell they were doing. And so with that being said, I want to just say that that's not polygamy. You know, what some of us might experience where a man is just dictating a whole relationship and is just picking and choosing who's his wife or not, and the women have no say so, or there's no type of mutual understanding or agreeance or compromise or whatever. It's a dictatorship type of relationship. That's not polygamy, y'all. Like I said, that's a dictatorship. So if that's what people are considering polygamy, then they're not knowledgeable about what it actually is, because it's no different than a monogamous situation, except there's more people. So you wouldn't do major drastic things that could affect your partner without consulting them or having some type of conversation with them, right? So you would think that adding a person to your relationship is a major fucking change. Wouldn't that be something that we talked about if we have a mutual care for each other and we already have a solid foundation and we're already committed to putting each other first as far as like well-being and committing to each other and just co-creating, right? So if you're not even taking the time to consider your partner and who you're adding to your guys' relationship, right there, that's not ethical non-monogamy. You feel me? That's not what that is. So I just want to address that those type of instances that we may have witnessed are not the right way to go about doing it and are not a good example of what is true, you know, polyamory or polygamy. Like I said, those are men that are just using polygamy, the title of polygamy, to justify living out their fantasies or their sexual desires or their own personal motives. Okay, so the next common misconception that I want to touch on is that people who choose to identify themselves with polyamory are anti-commitment or are afraid of commitment or refuse to commit. That's not true at all. Or even, we can even go as far as saying that they're anti-monogamy, because that's not true either. It's just more so having the freedom to say so whenever you desire. So I can only speak for myself, you know, more than anything, I can speak for myself best. And for me, it's about having the freedom to get to know people. You know what I'm saying? Actually grow foundations with people and actual relationships that are based more upon this than this pursuit of this fairy tale ass fucking relationship. You know, I'm actually looking for people in my life that value me, see value in me, add value to my life, and vice versa. And a lot of times in this pursuit for this fairy tale ass relationship, we neglect those things as necessities, and we just completely ignore things that we know are not going to be beneficial to us, because we're just so fucking longing for this fucking fairy tale ass relationship. Like, so it's not that, because at any given moment, if I came across somebody who I felt the dynamic of our relationship was appropriate to be monogamous, and I felt comfortable with that, it made my spirit feel at peace, then I would do that. I'm not against that. It's just more so until I find that and I feel that in my spirit, I am in a mode of building valuable relationships with people, period, point blank. And I'm not going to commit to a situation that removes me or takes the freedom away from me to do so. Because that's what monogamous situations do. You get involved with somebody and all of a sudden they feel as though you can't connect with anybody or whatever. But we're going to get into that a little bit later, okay? When I talk about my personal reasons why I identify with polyamory. And the last common misconception I want to speak on is that women are settling if they're able to share a man. To me, I could totally share a man. Like, to be straightforward, I know that might make some people feel uncomfortable, but I could totally share a man. If I'm in, it's all based upon perspective. So I'm going to give you what I see in my mind. So for me, I'm in a relationship and this man is on his shit. Okay, he's on his shit. He's able to provide a sense of security for me and our children. You feel me? I have no worries, no concerns. There's no trust issues. I know that he's got our back, that our family and the well-being of our family is his priority and his focus in life, and that he's not going to do anything to damage our foundation or, you know, do anything to reverse the progress that we've made as a unit. then I trust this being. You know what I'm saying? And I know that any move that he makes is gonna be for our benefit. So if he brings somebody to my awareness and he's like, yo, I think that this sister would be a fucking asset to add to our team because of this, and this, I would hear him out. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it comes into, why are you getting into a relationship? And we're gonna touch on that in just one moment. But I guess I'm just saying, as a woman, I know the value that I bring to a dynamic. So I know that if I attract a woman who is similar to me or on a frequency, and I'm not saying similar to me like she has to be like me, I just mean like a similar focus, a similar drive, a similar ultimate goal, you know what I'm saying? Then we can work together and manifest quickly, more quickly, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely feel like it takes a very confident woman to be able to share a man. I feel like it takes a very self-secure, self-assured woman to share a man, because she has to know her value, her unique value, in order to know that nobody that comes along is going to be able to take from her what connection she has with her partner, because it's unique to them. You know, and it's being able to know that and rest in that, that's going to allow anybody to be in a dynamic like this. Because if you're insecure, you're going to be constantly feeling worried or concerned that you're not enough, you know, because a lot of people equate attention to love, you know, because if I'm giving you my attention constantly, then I love you. And if I don't give you my attention, then I don't love you. But that's not facts. And if you're self-actualized and you're able to emit love from within you, then when you receive love from another person, it's just a bonus. It's an add-on. It's a booster. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a matter of me having to share. It's a matter of me wanting him to be able to give what he has to offer to more than just me. I don't need all of it, because guess what? I'm self-fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need him 24/7 telling me I'm beautiful, telling me I'm this. I know, and I know that you know. You know what I'm saying? And I want the same way that he has gave me the sense of security. I know that there's other sisters in the world that need that as well. You know, so why not bring that onto my team and add to what we're already doing? Is that crazy? I think I'm just gonna leave that at that, because I'm gonna get into a lot more when I get into my personal reasons why. So let's just move forward, and I'm just gonna go ahead and touch on why people get into relationships in general. I went ahead and asked on my Instagram for people to give me insight for them as to what their reasons are. And I got a lot of good insight. And all of the answers came down to basically 3 groups of reasons why you get into a partnership. And they are this. Number 1 is mutually beneficial, to be mutually beneficial for growth and self-development. Like, I put that all in one category, like growth, to develop, to learn more, all of that through relationships, which I completely agree with. Another one was to build and generational wealth. So I seen that a lot of people want to build, which I completely get as well. And then the last one, which kind of everything else kind of fell into this category, was for love and for companionship. Okay, and with that being said, it's like, okay, so if your reasons are love and companionship, then yeah, you're probably okay with the monogamous situation, because one person can give you that for the rest of your life if that's what you guys are both okay with. You know what I'm saying? But if you're seeking something bigger, or not necessarily bigger, but something that takes more effort, then you might need more hands on deck. So another type of relationship dynamic might be more beneficial for you, because building generational wealth is not an easy task to take on with just 2 people. You need a team of people. And not saying necessarily, you know, then this argument comes up and it's like, well, you don't have to be in a relationship with people to build with them. And that's facts. You don't. But I like when you're in a dynamic like that, the sense of loyalty and the sense of like just being on the same page with shit, and the sense of commitment to the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to admit that when you're in a relationship, you have a different sense of like interconnectedness with them than you do with your friend. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are constantly co-creating, constantly intertwined. It's a whole different co-creating than with just friends or just with a business partner. You know what I'm saying? It's a more intimate exchange and a more intimate alchemy. I just feel like definitely that's something that should be thought about, and that's another reason why there's not one right way, because people get into relationships for different reasons, and that's all. And I'm talking too fast, you guys. Let me slow this down. It is totally okay for people to get into relationships for different reasons, you guys. We're all different people, and that's okay. Like, I feel like the sooner everybody can just realize, like, people are gonna think differently than you. People are gonna feel differently than you. People are gonna resonate with different shit than you. And guess what? That's not only okay, but that's the way that it was fucking meant to be. Created this way. If we were created to do the same fucking thing, we would all be doing the same fucking thing. We wouldn't have choice. The reason why we have free will and we have options is because we have the power to create our reality to be whatever that is we want it to be. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into my personal reasons of why I have chosen to identify with polyamory. And if you know anything about me, you know I don't do labels, I don't do categories, I don't do titles, I don't do boxes, period. But I find polyamory to be such a general label that everybody is damn near polyamorous if you think about it. When you're dating, like, you're romantically involved with more than one person at a time. You know what I'm saying? So I think the only difference is dating, you think about it as like a casual kind of like occasional kind of thing. And in polyamory, it's the same instance. Instead, you're keeping those same light type of feelings or understandings, but you're growing these meaningful relationships, and it's an over time thing. I'm not saying that this is a dynamic that grows overnight or even in a year, even in 5. This is something that is over time. All right, so I'm just gonna get started. So my first reason why I chose to identify myself with polyamory, I'm not going to continue to say that, okay, but is because I absolutely do not resonate with the programming or the idea that we've been given of monogamy. I personally cannot stand this pursuit that we've been put on to find this one perfect person that's supposed to come along and fulfill all of our needs on all dimensions of our complex being, and therefore make us no longer desire to connect or know or interact with any other beings of the opposite sex, or just in general. I honestly don't feel like it's fair to put that much pressure on one person to fulfill your whole fucking existence, this whole lifetime, fam. Like, that's deep. And I feel like that's oftentimes why monogamous situations don't end up working. It's like people end up feeling so much pressure to satisfy a person and to be this person's everything, and that's hard, especially when you're trying to maintain and find and develop your own self, if that's a focus of yours, which it should be. And a lot of times people get into monogamous situations because they're running away from themselves. In a monogamous situation, it's so easy to distract yourself with the other person that you never ever focus on your own faults or your own flaws or your own experiences or your own lessons or anything for yourself, because you're so deeply intertwined with this person and you guys are so closely co-creating that it's like you guys become this one entity. And so then you completely lose your own sense of individuality, and then with that automatically comes like all these other things, because your spirit wants to be you know what I'm saying? And any relationship that you come into, I feel, should enhance you, not change you. You know what I'm saying? It should lead you back to more of yourself, more awareness of yourself, more clarity of yourself, you know, more assurance of yourself, you know. Another reason why I resonate with polyamory is because it's just logical to me that love resonates on the frequencies of abundance, of infinity, of limitlessness. You know what I'm saying? Like, and monogamy resonates with the frequencies of like possession and scarcity and ownership, and those to me are not the same frequency. So it's like, obvious, if I'm a being of love, then I have to challenge myself to think like, why am I wanting this one person to myself? Why am I feeling some type of way if this person is expressing love to another person? Why is that making me feel negatively? That doesn't sound right to me. Anybody expressing genuine, pure, balanced love should never make you feel any type of way. Like, literally, in monogamous situations, if your partner even appreciates another person's talents, another person's beauty, another person's style, another person's fucking personality, smile, whatever, it causes like these feelings of insecurities in the other person. It's fucking strange. I feel like logically, monogamy is another form of separation, as far as like when you get into a relationship, a monogamous relationship, you're not able to really have friends of the opposite sex. You're not really able to build valuable relationships with other people because of fears of offending your partner. And that to me is just like, fuck, because so much growth happens through relationships, and everything is a relationship. And when I say relationships, it's not just like a romantic relationship. Like, me and my mom have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Me and my daughter have a relationship. Me and my brother have a relationship. Everything has a relationship. I have a relationship with my bed. You know what I'm saying? So everything has a relationship. So I think the focus should be more on the actual relationship and not the idea of the relationship. Does that make sense? I feel like this gives you the structure to allow people to be what they're meant to be in your life. And not all of a sudden when you see a reflection of somebody, see a reflection of yourself in somebody, do you automatically feel like, oh, is this the one? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it doesn't have to be the one, but it could be somebody that's coming to teach you something. It could be somebody that is a lifelong friend. It could be somebody that adds value in whatever way, but it doesn't have to be the one. So I guess to me, it's just obviously limiting. It's just obviously limiting. Fight me. Okay, and another reason for me is because I am a family person. I love big family. Like, when I was younger, I would always say like I wanted to have 15 kids because I just wanted to have a big ass family. And in my grown up adult life and having one kid, I know for damn sure I'm not having 15. But for real, I just know now that that's not the only way to go about achieving a big family. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why I really resonate with this lifestyle, is because if you take yourself out of those fucking paradigms that make you feel jealous or make you feel insecure or make you feel less than or make you feel inadequate or whatever because your partner or somebody that you loves something else, loves you and something else, I feel like you can allow so much love in. You know, I feel like it doesn't divide. I feel like it multiplies. It adds value to the situation when you add beings of value to the situation, you know. And I'm not saying that these situations are easy to come across or that they come across quickly. I'm sure that they take time. Like I said, I'm new to this. I have had my own experiences with polygamy and whatever, but I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? It is a learning process. I feel like we're all still learning. I feel like definitely my generation is going through this thing where we're trying to relearn relationship dynamics in a healthy way. So yeah, family is definitely a one way for me. I would love to have, like, idealistically for me, and this could change at any point, obviously, but for me right now, an ideal situation for me would be to be in a polygamous situation where I have a family that I'm committed to with one man and multiple wives, however many that may be. But then I also have the freedom to have valuable relationships outside of that with other men, you know, because I do desire to learn more. I do desire to know more about myself through other people. And I do desire to, you know, bring that value back to my family. So as long as there's some type of transparency and some type of open, honest communication, that's ultimately the dynamic I would love to see myself in. And with that being said, you know, I could have a huge family, still have my freedom and not my freedom necessarily to just wild out, y'all. Like, let's be real, like, let's stay grounded. I'm not saying I want to wild out. I'm just saying that I don't want to cut off my right to be able to learn from other people, you know, and I trust myself. I'm a balanced being, so I know I'm not out here just trying to whatever, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would love to have sister wives and for them to have kids with the same father of my children and raise them all together. Like, that's beautiful to me. Fight me. Another reason for me is to be able to accumulate generational wealth, to be able to create enough successful businesses, enough successful avenues of income to give my children a comfortable life, for them to continue to add on to that, and for us to continue to just give our children freedom to express and to grow and cultivate their beings in whatever way is most beneficial for them. For me, I feel like there's power in numbers, you know. There's power in numbers. Many beings with the same focus manifest that focus much more quickly than just one person or two people. You know what I'm saying? So if you have many different beings who are equipped with their own attributes, equipped with their own talents, equipped with their own skills, you know what I'm saying? Isn't it just obvious that we'd be able to accomplish more? So why limit ourselves? I feel like, honestly, the only reason why you would say no to a circumstance like that is because of your own insecurities, your own fears. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Please comment below if you can give me some type of insight as to why you wouldn't want that dynamic. Because to me, it's just like, if I take myself out, don't get me wrong, like, I will have to battle with, you know, jealousy and all of these things, but these things are manageable, and these things are able to be reprogrammed if you're willing to do that work and willing to press yourself and push yourself out of your comfort zones, you know what I'm saying, for what you know is right. And for me, I believe in it enough to do that for myself and to do that for my family. And ultimately, it is what I want. And I know that any reason why I would feel uncomfortable or anything like that is because of what I've been programmed with, you know? So I definitely feel like if generational wealth is something that you're looking to pursue, then you might want to think about having more than just two people on your team, you know? And going back to what somebody had said to me on my Instagram, which I'm really thankful for, is like, you can build business and be in business and build with people who are not in a relationship with you. And that's facts. I just feel like when you're in a relationship and you're in a committed situationship with people, you're so closely intertwined and your guys' focus is so similar, and you guys are just on, you guys are just so much more interconnected than a business partner, than a friend that lives in their own home or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I want to be business partners with my family. I want us all to have our own attributes that create what we fucking did. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I personally see it in my mind. And I know I'll say this over and over again. I'm still learning. So yeah. Okay, so the last reason I'm gonna come to you guys with, you know, I just wanted to keep this really as short and as sweet as I could. So I really kind of like jam-packed everything. Hopefully I got enough of my point across. But anyways, my last reason for myself is just more love. You know, in this life, I feel like love is the source of all goodness, you know? So why would you not want to multiply that in your life? I want love to increasingly grow until the day I take my last breath. Honestly, I would consider myself a person who is in tune with themselves, self-actualized, self-assured, aware of thyself. I'm just in tune with my thoughts, in tune with my purpose, in tune with the vision that I have for my life, you know, and in tune with what I have to do to go there and to get there and to be who I desire to be. And so with that being said, everything that comes into my life is going to flow within that. And I don't need, and it's just going to be bonus. It's going to be adding to my experience. You understand? So I don't need one person in my life that is there to constantly validate me. I feel like in monogamous situations, the reason why people lean on that is because it's so comfortable to have somebody there constantly patting you on the back like, we got this, we got this. And I understand that is comfortable. It is comforting. But once you become self-actualized and you're so solid in yourself and in your own purpose and in what you're doing and in your own worth, you know that that's not necessary, you know? And so then when you get into dynamics, the person that you're with or the people that you're with are just adding value. You know what I'm saying? They're contributing to what you're already moving towards. So it's a whole different dynamic. It's a whole different energy that's created. A lot of people feel unloved because of lack of attention from the people that they feel they love. And I just want to tell you that attention does not equate to love. A person can love you very much and just not have the time to be focused in on you. You get what I'm saying? And that should be okay, because at the end of the day, that person is still their own person and they're still on their own journey of self-discovery. And so they should have the space to not be constantly having to validate you and constantly having to assure you and just make you feel fulfilled, because you should be able to get that on your own. And honestly, if you do not have that within yourself, if you don't have a love within yourself that already makes you feel fulfilled, then you really shouldn't get into a relationship, period. Whether that be monogamous or polygamous, polyamorous, polyandrous, you name it, don't do it. Take the time, step into your solitude, and get to know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't expect yourself to add value to anybody if you don't know what value you are. You know what I'm saying? You have to definitely be in tune with what you're contributing. That way, whenever you get into a circumstance, you can stand firm on that. Add another sister to this relationship, because I know she's not going to be me. She's going to be beautiful and unique and dynamic in her own ways, which I'm going to honor. But guess what? She's not going to be me. And I know that I have a specific essence, and I know that I have a specific expression that is unique and special to me, that nobody can ever take away from me. You know what I'm saying? No matter how special she is, no matter how much he loves her. You know what I'm saying? Why would that make me feel some type of way? You know what I'm saying? Only because of programming. Other than that, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. So, okay, you guys. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm sure that there's a lot of things that I didn't even say that I wanted to say, but it's just such a deep topic that I'm not going to be able to cover it all in one sitting, you know, because there's constantly new revelations that come to me, constantly new perspectives that's shared with me. So yeah, with that being said, if you have anything to say, anything to share, anything to contribute, any knowledge to input, whatever, I'm open to receiving that. Comment it below, DM me on Instagram. However you can get in contact with me, do that, and let me know what you guys think, how you guys feel, because I know I'm not the only one that's going through this process of just relearning how to be in relationships in a healthy manner for me, you know. So yeah, let's connect, communicate with me, you guys. Let me know what you guys feel, you know. Share your experiences with me if you're willing to get that transparent. And I'm open to listening, judge free. And it's really just for us to grow and for us to build and for us to get to know ourselves more through each other. So yeah, you guys, I hope this video was of value to anybody. And if it was, then I give infinite thanks for being a vessel of contribution in this reality. And yeah, maybe I'll come back with a part 2 if I have enough that comes back to me. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I am so grateful, and I will see you guys in the next video.